All right, so I wanted to review a few things. Thank you, Jenny, for sending me your information. I really appreciate that. Okay, so let's start with LIS. Oh, would you please go ahead and mute? I'm sorry there, Alphonse. Let's go over LIS 25253 really quick, because I have just gotten done speaking with Jenny, or not Jenny. Well, I did speak with you, but with Alexandra Schreiber, who we are doing the museum exchange with in Berlin, Germany, with her students. So first things first is the Padlet's going to be down. So let me share my screen on the 25th. So all of you need to go ahead in LIS 258 and share and start your first assignment sooner rather than later. Where is share screen? So where is my share screen? Let's see, I need show all windows.
It should be at the bottom.
Yeah, I've just very bottom. Yeah, I'm just trying to find what screen. Let me open it up one more time. Go to there. All right, so I found the screen that I want here. All right, so let me share the screen. Can you see a maintenance in your left-hand corner of your screen? All right. Padlet will be down for maintenance on Friday, March 25th from 4 to 6 p.m. PDT. Because it's going to be 6 p.m. in Berlin when we begin our virtual, it's going to be 6 p.m. Wait, 5 p.m. in Berlin, because we sprung ahead in time, but they did not. They will the following week. Either way, Padlet's going to be down for people in Germany, but not for us. So we can't use it. However, please note that we are updating everything now in the Padlet. So you're going to have access to this by Friday. Now, can you see a Padlet guide where it says Student Board Virtual Exchange, St. John's and Göttingen University? So this is what the first, like the introduction is going to look like. The Padlet guide. Alexandra and I provide an introduction to the workshops. And we're going to be introducing your challenges that you can download as a PDF. So this is the arrival page, which you'll have access to probably on Wednesday. But
Dr. Angel, you're breaking up.
Oh, this means I have to go downstairs. This means that, hang on. If, thank you, Virginia, for letting me know. Let me know if I'm still breaking up when I come down here.
Sure, I will.
I have to go buy my router. Getting the new router didn't work this weekend.
Oh no.
Hang on, let me see. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you guys hear me? Okay, sorry about that. So your first job is going to be to upload your objects or to introduce yourself by uploading here's challenge 1, scavenger hunt. It's not April 7th, it's due, but I got to change that due date. What is it you want your peers to know about yourself? Get creative and include hobbies in what you do in addition to your studies. So we're going to ask you to go down here and on the scavenger hunt on the Padlet, find a person or, well, first of all, you're going to upload a photo of yourself or a museum object or an object that you have at home representing who you are, like say it's a baseball bat, right? Because you're a baseball player. It's a personal object that you have that represents who you are. And you're going to upload that object, introducing yourself on the Padlet. And then on the Padlet, you're going to find people with similar hobbies or activities that surprise you. And it can even be what you had for breakfast. So the way that the Padlet is set up is that we have different pages for the different assignments, and this is what you're going to be seeing. Do you guys see a yellow screen? Do you guys see the, all right. So this is Alexandra Shriver with her dog. So we're asking all of you to, first of all, introduce yourself in the Padlet. Please do this before the 25th on Friday when it's all, try to anyway. Let me restate this. This is an introduction to everybody in the class. So technically you don't have to have this done before the 25th, but please know on the 25th, it's going to be down. So if you don't have access to it, you can't do it. You can't do this assignment until the following day. But this is my introduction of the Padlet to you. This is what happened last spring semester, how everybody introduced themselves on the Padlet. And I'm showing you this now because on the 25th, I can't introduce it to you because it's going to be down. All right, so that's how you're introducing yourself on the Padlet. But then for the assignment, let me see if this is it. You're going to introduce your, this is it? Nope, it's the same one. Hang on, let me go here, click on this link. People, it looks like people just uploaded pictures of themselves. That's all I did. So you got to describe who you, oh, here's an icon. Here's a picture of a student. So a lot of students just introduce themselves using pictures. So that's what you're going to be asked to do after the 25th when we all meet. And here's what it's going to look like. So students, like, this is me responding to a student and Kelly responding. This is how it's all set up. Are there any questions on that so far? All right, and then we're also going to be introducing the challenges, all the challenges on day one. So it's basically the same as last spring semester, but we're doing our presentations a little differently. So let me pull up a Word document because, can you see a Word document? Do you see, like, I might have to reshare. All right, hang on, stop sharing, share a screen. This isn't it. Oh, here it is. Let me share this one. This is what I'm updating now. So the first day of class, do you see red writing that's at the top? You don't see any of the, oh, stop sharing.
Oh, it's here now. It's here now.
Sorry. Okay, this is what I'm updating now. This is what you're going to be introduced to. We're introducing you to the virtual exchange workshop so that you are operating online with other students from Germany, but you're both online. So the online environment is you are being introduced as curators within that online environment. And your job within the Museum Informatics paradigm, the study of informatics is defined as the intersection between among information people and technology. It's just with this class, it's the intersection of people, information, and technology within a museum environment, which we're adopting as our intercultural competency and communication practice board, where you guys are operating as the curators. The idea is that throughout history, there have been museum controversies. I will give you a PowerPoint presentation with one slide during our Zoom session that defines what museum informatics is and what some of those museum controversies are, because it's going to be your objective for the rest of the semester to work within your quest team groups that Alexandra and I are giving you or pairing you in on that Friday. So you'll have your quest team groups. You'll know who you're working with. It's going to be one person from St. John's University and then 2 other people from Germany. You're working together to organize and describe, first of all, your museum objects that you select and that I'm going to require you to get copyright permissions for, even though it's in the public domain. For you to select that one museum object from anywhere in the world that most represents who you think you are as a person. And then you're going to be working with 3 other people with their museum objects too, who are doing the same thing. And the idea is to first work within your teams, your quest teams, on attaching descriptive words to your object. And then you're going to be sent out in the next week for other quest teams. You're going to request other team members from other quest teams to add their descriptive terms to your object. And the idea is to, while there is a danger of creating a single narrative, what you're trying to do is make sure that when you're describing your museum object, you are practicing at the end, by the end of that descriptive process, on integrating multiple perspectives that you might not have thought of before when attaching descriptive terms to your museum object. Now, with that, the other part of this whole venture is you're going to be working on your intercultural competency and communication skills by developing no more than 3 pages, a museum exhibit brochure that you are where you are telling a story that connects all of your information objects together into one narrative. So that's how all of these objects, or that's the idea of all these assignments. So here you're going to introduce yourself in step 1. You're going to choose your personal museum object, and then you're going to reach out. You're already going to be in quest teams at this point. Then you're going to reach out to your support teams and ask them to put descriptive terms, place descriptive terms on your objects. Don't pay attention to the due dates. I'm still updating them. Then your quest teams are going to curate your exhibit, and you're going to beginning to curate your story on using a common theme. And then you're going to be the sage on the stage. And so this isn't on May 2nd, it's going to be in April. So what you're going to be doing in the last challenge here, sage on the stage, is your quests, each individual quest team museum brochure is 3 pages. They're all going to be uploaded on the Padlet, and you're going to be working with the designer to come up with an organization of how you want all of your chapters. So if I continue on with the what the rest of the Padlet will look like for, let me see if I can find an old one for what that scenario looks like. I think it was deleted. Everything is going to be uploaded in the Padlet. And it looks like it was deleted. So, and moving forward from here, there's going to be kind of double documentation between the Padlet and Canvas. All the assignment instructions for all assignments will be in Canvas, and it will tell you in Canvas to go to the Padlet and do work in there. So from this point forward, after you submit your museum, you provide your museum object, and you go ahead and provide me with a copyright. That copyright assignment, you're going to upload it on the Canvas, but basically for the rest of the semester, we're going to be working on the Padlet. It's a free tool. There's no need to go ahead and find and like create an account or anything, but you're more than welcome to if you would like. Maybe I should stop here really quick and ask, are there any questions so far on what we're going to be doing for the next few weeks with in the Museum Informatics course?
I have a question.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I missed this. Where do we access the Padlet? Or
Yep.
do we just go to the website?
So that's coming to you. Don't access anything yet.
Okay.
Yeah. So let me just show you one more thing. Then I found one of the old, like the construction of what your communications are going to look like towards the end of the semester. Here. So see how you're all going to be, can you see this? Team 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It's still loading.
I hate how slow it is. So all right, good. So participants, all right. So you're all going to be in teams. You're organized in teams. Teams 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a separate Padlet page. This is what happened last semester. You're going to be asked to upload your chapter of your curated museum brochure up in challenge 4. And then we're going to ask for your suggestions on how to organize all the different chapters. So we're going to have a due date where every one of you will have to upload your team's virtual museum brochure up in the Padlet. And it's got to be done kind of in a timely manner because then other groups are going to have all their suggestions in terms of how our graphic designer, how you want the graphic designer, Tanya, to organize all of your chapters. So for Friday, we're also going to be asking you, all right, you're going to be introduced to your groups that you're supposed to create these museum brochures within Padlet. You'll be introduced to your groups, and then we're going to be putting you in breakout sessions so that you come back to us before we leave on Friday, and you're going to tell us how you're going to communicate asynchronously during the next week when introducing yourself to your group members, the selection of your museum objects, and so basically how you're going to communicate asynchronously with your team members across different geographic locations and of course times, and how you're going to get this done. And the idea during that, at the end of that first Zoom session on Friday, is while you're working in your team for like 10 minutes to figure out email addresses or what's the best time and way to get in touch with people, your other goal is to express that in the chat session or in the chat on Friday, or whatever you want, in terms of letting other people in the class know how you're communicating and what tools you're using to communicate with people that are 12 hours apart from you, so that you can go ahead and get this done in a timely manner. And that's it. That's basically it for the class. You're going to have a reading to do. I'm uploading questions for you now to start working on for this week in terms of what is intercultural competency and communication and stuff like that to get you started on the right foot. So any other questions right now? All right, so let me, all right, go ahead. All right.
So for regular office hours this week?
Yeah, but can we talk? I got your email. Can we discuss that later, please?
Yes.
Yeah, all right. All right, so next, let's go over LAS 203, because there are some things that I want to show you about posting let me stop sharing, posting your objects into the Hidden Heritage Collection blog. Let me show you the back end of what I see on the HHC blog. So that you can understand the perspective that I'm coming from and how I grade. So let me share my screen again. Here it is. So I've already logged in to the Hidden Heritage Collection blog. Can you guys see a WordPress something? All right, very good. Here's what you guys see when you log on to the Hidden Heritage Collection blog website, right? This is, and if you go to blog, you see all these different types of blogs, right? Blah, blah, blah. So when I go in and I grade, I go into my dashboard, and you guys see this stuff too, right? I go and I look at posts and I look at all posts. By default, unfortunately, my name is here. It's supposed to be HHC or student, but the site got hacked and I had to fix everything. And so this is why I was able to fix it, because I can no longer use a generic name for author. That's why it's really important that I'll go into front, that you put the author by in your metadata when you upload your objects, so that I know whose post I'm looking at, because I don't see that. I see title. So I see, so I need it authored by Sophia, right? Here's an example. So I see this metadata, your title, and the blog, but I don't see your name. And so anytime you have a question for me about your blog post and the upload, could you please give me your title so that I know where to go? Just because it's the WordPress website organizes everything by last updated. So the most recent edit or the most recent upload, it will show first on the page. So I need to know where to go for the title. So look at how this is set up, right? So the authored by is right below the title. The title is, formatting here is important. The title is bold, right? This is really nice. It's not all caps. It's authored by Sophia, right? There's no colon. She has her object, which is sized correctly with caption underneath. And she starts her narrative right at the very top. So everything is flush. Her writing is flush with the top of her object. And then she inserts her read more page break. So you guys this is all chunked out for perceived user friendliness. So but this is what I see. If I was to edit your blog, which I'm not going to, I'm going to have you do it. I would go here and I would do all the edits and stuff, but I'm not going to do that. That's your job. And then there's a read more. So again, I'm not playing with the bolds or anything, but there's the read more. And this was published as a draft until I double checked everything and I gave her permission to publish it. So -1 point if you do not submit your blog in draft form, because this is front facing to the general public and you're not going to have your information published on the web until I've reviewed it. Then there's references. It's not bold, it's not underlined, it's the same font. And she uses correct author date citation formatting. Now here, the double core metadata is the next assignment. So when you do the date, some of the stuff while you're creating, some of these data elements or some of the attributes are created automatically as your metadata because that's the way WordPress operates. I'm okay, for example, with the year, month, day, and then time, but she didn't put that there. that was metadata uploaded by WordPress. So you're going to have to go in here and you're going to, for your metadata assignment, edit some of the metadata and actually like remember to do it in the first place, or it's you minus half the points on your assignment. And make sure that you make any corrections that you need to make. So when you're doing your metadata too, it's one attribute per data element. This is how WordPress annotates one attribute per data element. I want to see your Excel spreadsheets so that it's great. So you're showing your granularity, meaning that if you have subject, I want to see subject listed 3 different times with one attribute listed for each of the elements that you have placed or used to describe your object as subject. This is not what I'm going, so it's a 2-part assignment. You're providing me with your metadata uploaded to Canvas, and the other part is uploaded to the second part. It's metadata uploaded to your Hidden Heritage Collection blog. If I see it formatted, your metadata formatted like this on your Word document that you submit to Canvas, that's wrong. So the metadata use, the Word document, it's worth 5 points, and then this upload is worth 5 points. If you're missing this part of your metadata assignment, that's minus 5 points. The other thing that I wanted to bring out is when you are looking for the size of your object, which is asked for on your metadata document, do not look at the picture and say, okay, that's the size of my object. What I do is I go to your site, your general site. So when I click on the title, here's the site. And then I want to know what the whole entire blog says, and I'm moving you. So when I do a right, let's see, can I do it here? Hang on. Let's see if I can do it to general. When I view, let me see, I just went to the wrong spot. Preview. When I go to preview and I do a right click, view page source, I want to look for the entire, this is the back end of any of WordPress, right? So what I'm trying to teach you here as time goes on is how to code, right? Now see, here's your Dublin core. Upload, this is right here. This is a Dublin core that the web is reading. And this is why you need to put one attribute per data element. So this, for example, date, date is one data element, and I need one attribute per data element. Here's the start code. Here's the stop code. This is slash with the little sign. The contents is 2022-03-19. That's an attribute for this data element. When I go to subject, I want one attribute per data element. This student put uncategorized as a subject. That's because we haven't done this assignment yet. So the title, it's one attribute per data element. A plea for justice. Cass Heights murder charge and the right to self-defense. That's the title for this one data element. So I'm grading you on that kind of stuff. Now let me go back. Let me get out of the back end. So that's just, I'm on a PC, just so you know. Right click view page source. It's going to work differently on a blog or on a PC. So let me go to welcome again. Wait, let me go to post. I'll post. Let me pick one that's been, all right. Here's one from last semester. let me check the metadata. All the metadata is filled out. Source, subject. All right. And so, oops, please click. If I go to view page, so this is what you want to do when you double check. If I view a place honoring view. So if I do a right click, view page source, I'm scrolling down to the Dublin Core metadata because metadata is what binds the web together. Here's all of his metadata or her metadata for a Dublin Core. So this is why you're learning Dublin Core. See how there is multiple cover. Wait, there's two coverage, one creator, one date, and subject, subject, subject. I can tell at a glance that there's one attribute per data element assigned to this object. So even though it looks like when you're filling in the metadata for your object, it's not a place to write. It's not, let me go back to the way that the metadata is parsed out. Let me go back to edit, a place to rest. Even though it looks like it's not one attribute per data element, on the back end with all the subjects, it is parsed out so that the web is reading all three different subjects as separate attributes per data element. Then the one final thing I want to show you really quick, we're going over, it's your picture, your image. So if I do a right click, let me see if it works on here and inspect. This is the chunked out end of your metadata in terms of size that I want to show you. See this down here? So when you do a view page source inspect, when you're looking here, see how when I'm clicking at the 58069 by 800 or 0.800 by 15.20, it's highlighting different sections of your metadata that you see over on the left-hand side. So why do I show you this? Because this is how you find out how big your blog is, right? So if I was to go, can I do it here? Nope, I can't. I'm having a hard time showing you guys in this form, but hang on a second, let me go back. So if I go, I'll put edit, let me do an edit. Let me see if I can do it. Inspect. So if I'm on the edit function of your page and I click on image, just your image, this is everything, all the metadata pertaining to your image. This is not what I want to see for how big your image is. All right, so you're going to have to do the whole, highlight the whole thing and figure out how big your image is from doing this, clicking on each block. And usually when you click it, see what I just clicked on? And it reads 677.4 by 129.6. That's that block. That's that one block. But if you click on the right block for your whole entire image, which I'm having a hard time finding right now, you'll get the size for the entire blog. Maybe I should do a tutorial on this. But usually when I go down here too, boom, let me go all the way down here. here we go. There's a quick reading right there. 677.4 by 64.88. That's usually where I can find how big my blog is, right? So I just wanted to show you guys that stuff because that's what all your code is. And that's why you're doing HTML, which is going to be the next assignment after Dublin Core. It's the glue that binds the web together. And so I want you to see this because this is why you're doing what you're doing. This is why you're studying the organization of information. This is the behind the scenes stuff that's going on during the creation of your blog post. And does anybody have any questions? Let me stop sharing.
And you said you do a tutorial on that, or you try to do a tutorial?
Yeah, because I want you guys to be able to do the metadata assignment, which is what, and I've noticed that mistake with students. It's just not, when you think of your blog, it's more than just the image that you captured. It's your whole narrative that you've created for your blog post too. So what I'll do, and I've got a few weeks for this, is I'll go ahead back to that same student, Sophia, and I'll just do a video. So it's going to take 5 minutes. So I can go ahead and say, hey, this is how you find the size of your image, or not your image, your entire blog post. And I'll do a step-by-step version so you can see, because I really want you guys to know not to be scared about viewing page source and playing with the HTML and stuff like that, because you're not going to break anything, right? But I do want you to be able to play with the different sizes and stuff like that, and just realize how easy this stuff really is. And that if you think you broke something, make yourself a copy and go and play with it, you know, before you start playing around, and play with your copy before you delete your entire blog post. That is the one recommendation I would make. And I just want you to see that this stuff can be fun, and not be scared of it, and that there is a reason as to why I'm having you guys do, thanks Jenny, do everything that I'm having you do. And it's just not for, it's just not for your assignments to be put back into a box or anything like that. This is really the crux of what organizing information is about, from analog to digital to web interfaces. All right. So did I scare you at all?
Yes, but I'll be okay.
I love it, because you know why? You're going to be pros at this, and I just want you to be able to see how to read code. And once you read code and you can change and you can figure out, oh, well, this is the size of my object. I don't like this size because the width is too big. I want it shorter, and I want you to see how easy it is, and that you can change that just by looking at the code. So that's what we do.
Also, the links that I posted in the chat, this is how I taught myself HTML. So the first one is W3 Schools. They have systematic, comprehensive tutorials where they start you at the very basic and they go all the way to the advanced. It's totally free. There's it's an awesome resource. And then the second one, so if you wanted to kind of figure out, if you wanted to copy and paste what Dr. Angel was showing you into that particular application, it lets you play with it and preview things. And so that way you can, without breaking anything, you're not going to break anything. So that way you can kind of understand how the tags work and how it all kind of fits together. And that's another thing that I also used when I was doing HTML for my last job. So
it's funny that you bring this up, because as part of the when they learn the HTML, that quiz that you can take, you're all required to upload that quiz as part of their assignment for HTML. So so that's good. So no, that's good. So this is a step-by-step process that I've been trying to bring you into the fold for the entire semester, in terms of you writing your draft blog and submitting it via a Word document with step 1. You doing the technical upload into a WordPress website, that's ALA core competency number 4, I think. Because so it's a core competency that's been crosswalked to this course for as a DLIS learning goal, that you can use. So my point is, you can use that assessment activity, uploading your blog posts into WordPress, as one possible artifact for graduation for your DLIS ePortfolio. The next step, which is double core metadata, that's it's scaffold. So now, all right, you're learning about metadata, and that is also meeting a core competency, and that's well, DLIS Learning Goal 3, which is crosswalk to ALA core competency number 3. So later on, when you're doing your ePortfolio, if you wish to utilize that double core assignment, then for your DLIS ePortfolio for demonstrating student achievement of DLIS Learning Goal number 3, you can use that assignment, right? Because it's all crosswalked. Same thing then with your HTML quiz, right? And you doing that, you have another part of an assignment with that. You have your double core that you're creating now, but then you're crosswalking or mapping that double core assignment to HTML. So that is another assignment, if you wish, that you can use in demonstrating student proficiency of DLIS Learning Goal number 3, again, which is mapped or crosswalked to ALA core competency for your ePortfolio. So are you understanding how all these assessment activities are directly translate to the learning goals within the course, which are then crosswalked or mapped to the DLIS learning goals, which are used by you to construct your DLIS ePortfolio. And those learning goals for the DLIS ePortfolio are crosswalked to ALA core, or the ALA core competencies. So as you're going through your assignments, I've created multiple opportunities for you to not only learn metadata and HTML and how to read code, but a number of opportunities which will allow you to demonstrate achievement of at least learning goal number 3 and number 4 for your DLIS ePortfolio, which is what you submit during the last semester that you're attending St. John's as part of the requirements that you need to submit for graduation. So that's what this is all about. So the goal, of course, the overarching question is, what are you going to be able to do upon not only leaving this class, but leaving this program? And there's 2 examples right there: organize information and do technical uploads to a WordPress website. That's basically it. Oh yeah, and by the way, I can read code, right? I mean, it doesn't sound very bad, right? You're going to be very proficient in this. So what I'm trying to do is I scaffold these assignments, and I'm trying to build upon what you already know. And after this assignment, which I think is due March 29th for the blog upload, what you will know is how to work a WordPress website. So then what's next? Oh, it's double core metadata, right? So how do I construct double core metadata in general, but then also for a WordPress website? You're going to learn that. Then how do I go ahead and I encode or encode that information? Well, that's the whole purpose of your HTML assignment, which is you taking the test in the W3C, the World Wide Web Consortium schools for HTML, but then you're demonstrating how you map or crosswalk double core to HTML, which is going to be really easy, because if you do what I just did, right click, view page source. It's a copy and paste of the code onto your assignment. So it's like, hey, you don't even have to like guess how to do it, because if you go view page source or if you or inspect code, right? There's the answer right there. So I'm trying to show you easy ways to do things too, and show you that it's really not, I'm really not trying to trick you. It's really, really easy stuff. And I'll review this again as time goes on. And what would be helpful for me is if you all have questions, so that the next time I present to you on next Monday, I can go ahead and answer those, right? And then make more videos in Canvas or whatever you need, because then I know that I'm reaching you in terms of the questions that you have. All right, are there any questions right now? All right.
I just wanted to
I'm-
reassure everybody.
Go.
I just wanted to reassure everybody that it's a lot easier than it looks. I know it looks like the guts of like a computer, but it's really just wrapping the information that you see on a web page in the appropriate text. And that helps the web page identify it and present it. That's all it is. So if you have some questions, I can answer some basic questions, but when you start getting into CSS and stuff like that, I might have to look it up. So,
And
but
that's
I will-
okay. The ePortfolio does allow for people to play with CSS, but thank you, Jenny. And now you
You're
all see
welcome.
why she's my GA, right? So that's awesome. I appreciate that. But so this recording went way over, but at least now you have like a scaffold or an idea of what's happening for the rest of the semester for both LAS 203 and 258. And you know some of the expectations that are coming down the road. And I'm not here to trick you. It's really you're going to be awesome after you leave these classes, okay? For both, if you want to work in a museum or be a museum curator or curate data for a museum or be a museum archivist. And if you need to go ahead and encode a few websites at your place of business, whether it's in an archive, library, museum, historical society, you're going to know a lot more than you think you're going to know, because you're here now learning all this stuff and like you're actually engaging in the process of creating metadata, creating your blog and uploading it to WordPress, and then learning HTML. So this for the rest of the semester, you're providing the scaffold. You're being provided with the scaffold or the basic knowledge to just learn more, because after this, you will never take another class that you have to pay for to learn XML or HTML. Why? Because you just found out about the W3C consortium and how there's all these free tutorials on there. Right. So, all right. So that's all for today. And I have lots of emails that I need to answer, and I appreciate everybody's time. I hope you found this presentation useful. It's represents my most favorite part of the semester, because it's when we start getting into the nitty-gritty, which I love. All right. So I'll see you all later, okay? I'm going to stop recording.